I just want to say this. There is no substitute for winning. We must win. We will win. Win is the name of the game.
How many? How many? How many? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. What did I get up to?
Hello, How Many listeners? This is Jesse Jackson, and this is a quick pre-playoff Cowboy special episode of How Many. For those of you who came in late, here's a little reminder.
If we were to check the tape, me and Matula were on the same wavelength of how poorly this season was going to go.
And Bob and I were more optimistic.
As you guys usually are, especially Bob. He will start, as soon as there is any glimmer of hope. Oh man, this is Super Bowl here. Oh man, that's the real deal.
So my official prognostication, it's easy to choose the negative in this, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going with 10-6 out the first playoff game.
So my bold prediction for the 2018-2019 Cowboys season, 8-8.
Terrible.
And that is with everything breaking right. And Travis Frederick not dying of his unknown disease.
You could put a Pop Warner offense out there with that defense, and they're not going 8-8. Though at least worst case scenario is 9-7.
Whoa!
Last year was worst case scenario, and they went 9-7. I mean, come on, dude. I'm gonna say 11-5, and that I'm kind of lowballing myself.
Does that win the division?
I think they're probably gonna be tied with Philly.
So you think Philly will go 11-5?
Yeah, I do, but because I think Wentz is coming back sooner than people think. 11-5. I'll say they win the tiebreaker, win the division, and make the playoffs.
Super Bowl?
No. But I'll say this: NFC Championship game.
Whoa! I believe they're going to go 8-8. They're not going to make the playoffs, and this will be Garrett's last season.
So you think 8-8 would get Garrett fired?
8-8 is going to get Garrett fired.
I think they're going to go 10-6, but they're going to squeak into the playoffs, and then they're going to catch lightning in a bottle. The team will go win and get all the way to the NFC Championship game. And then they will break our hearts, losing, and it will be this close. So those were the predictions we gave before the season started. Kind of a wide range. A couple of us feeling optimistic, a couple of us not feeling optimistic. But all four of us were depressed and unhappy with the Cowboys after they traded for Amari Cooper and lost the game to the Titans after the bye week. Let's review the tape.
Some frustration that has been building up all season that we need to get out in podcast form. So, Jesse, what are you upset about? What's grinding your gears right now?
So, as we record this, it is Thursday, November 8th. The Cowboys have, this past Monday night, laid a massive egg again on national TV.
Television.
Junior and I were at that game.
We were at the game.
That's right.
So, they decided to ruin my birthday. My birthday was Monday. Us with a possible run to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll have like a 13
outside of the anomaly years of the 2016, 2014, all the stuff around that and in between 7-9, 8-8. Sometimes they get bad and be 6-10.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they tease us. They give us a bad start, a couple of good games. Oh, the hope is starting to arise. Tank again.
It's kind of like that Jacksonville game. Everybody got all excited. Ooh, they blew out Jacksonville, and they've got a good defense. They're back. They're in.
Well, go ahead, Scott.
I can honestly say, even when they blew out Jacksonville, I sat there and I looked at it and just went, the shoe hasn't dropped. This isn't a good team. It's not.
So I watched the game Sunday night or Monday night, and I just said, there is no hope. And I don't know what it is. I mean, Aikman talked about Jerry being consistent, but that can't change. But, our coaching staff does not seem to know how to coach. Our quarterback can't seem to throw the ball. Our running back has, 87 people hitting him the moment he hits. The offensive line now sucks. There is no bright spot. We've traded away our first-round draft pick.
That's the worst part.
That really hurts.
The fact that in most cases, if you have a bad team, the one thing you can look forward to is, okay, if we just at least lose out the season, we have a top 5 to 10 pick to look forward to. And in most cases, if a team tanks that badly, there will be changes on the horizon. There will be a coaching change, a philosophy change, personnel changes. I will be the first to tell you, as much as I loved Dak in 2016, I am so through with him now. And if they were to tank as badly as we think they will, they have to make a move. There is no way they could re-sign him to an extension after he led the team to, I don't know, let's hypothetically 5-11, 6-10.
Yeah, but Jerry's already promising an extension, guaranteed.
Yeah, but Jerry talks out of his butt.
Certainly.
But we all love that story.
Say that.
A middle of the round draft pick. This guy whose mother died of colon cancer. The scene where he threw a cup on the ground and he picked it up, put it in the trash can. I mean, all those games without an interception were like...
Heck of a leader.
Yeah,
really
this guy
commands the locker room.
And everything, and then...
That can only take you so far.
Right.
You can't throw. Not enough throwing the ball through the tire in the backyard, obviously.
Image only goes so far.
Right now, I want to tell friends, nothing would make me happier, and I know you disagree. If they went on a 7-1 or 8-0 streak and finish strong, I will be happy. I'll be screaming.
You shouldn't be.
Yes.
You should not. You should not root for that at this point.
But it is not me getting back on the bandwagon. We talked about this before we hit record. I am on the bandwagon. I have my season pass, on the bandwagon to be a Cowboy fan. But that doesn't mean I can't expect my team to play better.
It takes nuclear meltdowns in that Cowboys front office to change things.
Yeah.
We saw it with Wade in 2009, 2010, whenever his team quit on him. It takes a team quitting on the coach.
And it was Jerry getting embarrassed. It was on national TV, prime time, getting blown out against the Packers. That was the last straw for him. It was embarrassing. So unless he feels like it's gotten that embarrassing.
Now, there is another national game coming up. Thanksgiving is right around the corner.
Well, not just that, but the Eagles game is Sunday night.
Yeah, if they were to get blown out again on these national stages, that has to force his hand.
What was it he said the other night that they could read his lips?
He said, I've had enough.
I've had enough.
And he may be saying that in the heat of the moment anger, because after the game, he'll always say, oh, Dak's doing great. He's going to get extended. There's not going to be any coaching changes this season. All could be lip service. He could be in the background saying, hey, if you don't win these next 2 games, you're out of here. Who knows with Jerry? But
all right, so here's to close it up. We're going to go around the table. Here's my 2 questions. Will Garrett be fired at the end of the season?
Yes. I even said that before.
Any final thoughts?
I even said that before the season started.
Yes.
Before the season, if we check the tape, I said this would be Garrett's final season. Now, I gave them too much credit in what the record would be. I think I said they were going to be 8-8. And that, I don't know, 8-8 is a very long shot
I said
at this point.
10-6.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you guys.
Scott,
were way up there.
I think I said 11-5.
Okay, so Scott,
Garrett, I think Garrett's going. I really do. I mean, because there's just too much against him, and even though Jerry, likes to hide behind his walls, there's too many people beating him down right now. I think at some point he's just going to go.
The fan backlash is too strong.
and Bob.
I do think he's going to be gone after the season, but they did bring up a good point on the ticket this morning that he would need to have a replacement not only in mind but ready to go. He would not fire him without already having the next person lined up. He's got that hire made, and it's like, okay, so if the Saints win the Super Bowl, for example, would he be able to get Sean Payton to come over here?
Why would he? Why would Peyton come?
I mean, we had our chance. Peyton was on our coaching staff.
He was ready to go.
And we decided to let him go. And look at all the great success he's had in New Orleans. There's so much non-buyer's remorse on Sean Payton right now.
So I am going to be the sole pessimist. No, Garrett will not be.
It would not shock me
Jerry
if they
will
brought him
find
back.
a way to justify to himself to bring Garrett out. Maybe Linehan will be gone, but I don't. I'm just. It's been too long, and I think he wants Garrett to be the next Landry, and I don't think it's going to happen.
Isn't predictions fun? I think me and my fellow How Many hosts will take partial credit for the Cowboys' turnaround. I think that the guys in the locker room heard that blistering How Many where we called them out, and they all looked over and said, hey, if we've lost Mexican Jr. and Sideshow Bob, we know we're in trouble. So, ironically, I guess, we predict gloom and doom. Cowboys come back, turn it around. We now have a playoff game. I will be on the record that if we are one and done, I will not feel like this is a successful season. If we can get to the NFC Championship game, win or lose, I think this is a very successful season. I would love to see them get to the Super Bowl and, of course, win it, but I think that's going to be tough. I do think they will beat Seattle, and I think they will win their next opponent, and then I guess, as I predicted in my preseasons, they will lose the NFC Championship game. But you aren't here to hear what I want to hear. You aren't here to hear my predictions. You're here to hear the other guy's predictions. I think that's too many hears.
All right, boys and girls, this is Scott. My playoff predictions will go as follows. I am picking the Colts over the Texans. I'm picking the Chargers over the Ravens. And I'm going to go for an upset with Bears, I believe, over the Eagles. Well, maybe it's not an upset, but from what I've been reading, people think the Eagles are going to pull this out. I just don't think so. And then one that's really, really tough because it could go either way, I'm going Seahawks over the Cowboys. I just don't think they got it. And then Colts, Chiefs, I'm picking Chiefs. Patriots over Chargers, going Patriots. Seattle and the Saints, I'm going the Saints. Rams and Bears, this may be the upset. I'm going Bears. Then Chiefs, Patriots, going for the Chiefs. Saints and Bears, I'm going the Saints. And putting those guys in the Super Bowl, I think the Saints are going to take it. Those are my predictions, guys. Love it or leave it. We'll see how it falls out.
Hey, Bob here, and if I recall correctly, my preseason prediction for the Cowboys was 11-5 and making it to the NFC Championship game. Well, I was off by one on the record. They were 10-6, and they are in the playoffs, so that NFC
championship game is still in play. Now, I may not be as convinced of that happening as I was when I made the prediction, but I'm going to go ahead and stick with that since it's still possible, and say that they will beat Seattle and then beat whoever they play in the next round, whether it's the Saints or the Rams. So we shall see if that comes to pass. But, I think they're in pretty good shape. They have a pretty good head of steam going. They won 7 of their last 8. Now, the game they lost was terrible. It was a blowout, shutout. But I think they're going to give a good account of themselves. I mean, win or lose, I think they'll play well, and I'm hopeful for good things. And if I'm right, hey, they'll go farther than they have in 22 years, or I guess 23 actually. And if I'm wrong, well, F me. It's just more of the same. All right, that's my updated prediction.
We had technical difficulties, and I wasn't able to capture Junior's prediction. He is predicting that the Cowboys win, playing against Seattle. Cowboys 24, Seattle 17. Junior said, call your bookies, because that is a Mexican Junior double play. Here is some bonus audio. My son, Chris, who you guys have heard, the guys call him Poochie. A long story. Not as long as why Bob's Twitter name is Lukewarm Tallboy, but still long enough. He recorded a quick discussion with one of his best friends, Colin. They talked the game, and let's just say I had to edit a little bit of the language. But here's special bonus content of 2 of the younger P1 Cowboy fans.
My dad wanted me to record playoff stuff, but I was too hungover on New Year's Day, so I'm going to just send him this. But I didn't want to record it without you knowing. It just doesn't feel good. But we're having a good conversation here. You can edit all this crap out, too. What were you saying?
Zeke usually
has
a slow start whenever he gets a week off.
Yeah.
Or whenever he comes back from
the beginning of the season.
Yeah, whenever he starts off the season, whenever he missed a couple games a couple years back.
He's had really good games though against Seattle. He had it in that first preseason game when Tony got hurt a couple years ago, and then last year on Christmas he was good, and then earlier this year he was good. But then he also fumbled in that week 3 game, I think. And I think he dropped the 3rd down pass, and that's 2 of the reasons why we lost the game. So hopefully he'll come and be, want to make that right.
They're a beatable team, but I don't know. They're hot right now. And the Cowboys are too unpredictable for me.
That's the truth. See, I've been thinking this week, too.
You never know who's going to show up.
Yeah, I've been thinking this week, too. It's like, oh, man, what about if we get the CD going, we get the food going, everybody's laughing, having a good time, and then, like, first quarter, halfway through it, we go down, we drive, we're looking good, we're loving it, turnover, like, oh, shit, no! And Wilson does, like, a 7 to 8 yard, or 7 to 8 second just scramble, no one can catch him, and then the next thing you know, first down, like, oh, God. There's going to be a lot of moments like that, though, in the game. It's playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm juiced, though. But I'm telling you this, if we I'm glad that we made it. That's expected. I'm glad we won the division, blah, blah, blah. But, like, if we're one and done again, that's going to be lame as I want us to win.
Yeah, I feel like for it not to be a disappointing season, they have to win.
Yeah.
Because even if you make the playoffs, you win the division, and then you lose in the first round, the season's still a loss.
Jerry will sell it, though, that, hey, we made the playoffs and blah, blah, blah.
But I mean, if you get a playoff win, even though you lose next game, because they got this week, then next week, then the NFC Championship, then the Super Bowl a couple weeks after that. So even if you don't make it to the NFC Championship game, you got a playoff win against a good team. Nobody can say Seattle was weak.
No, Cowboys are favored in this game, though.
So, yeah, I mean, they could win. It's not a...
But wouldn't it be so Cowboys to nut up, though?
Yeah. Well, it would be the Cowboys this season to nut up and just... Well, that's more seasons going back that's the Cowboys. But they could nut up, or they could be like this season and play amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking,
win convincingly by like 10
They have
points.
They have this kind of Mavericks 2011 feel in terms of the first couple rounds. I don't think it'd be tough. Then I don't even want to go that far. But I'm praying for an NFC Championship appearance because we've never seen that as adults.
Well, who would we play?
It's so up because if Philly beats Chicago, then Philly would play New Orleans. But if Chicago beats Philly, then we would play New Orleans. Unless New Orleans...
Yeah.
Well, no, they're on a bye, so yeah.
Yeah, the lowest seed will play them.
The highest,
so. Yeah, I don't see Philly beating the Bears.
Yeah, Nick Foles, I think his magic might be up. He's coming off an injury. He was hurt last week. But God, that team loves him, though. They play way better with him than Wentz. Way better than him with Wentz.
They need to get some money for one of them and move on. Like, there's no point in having this thing, man.
I'd say they spend a lot of on Wentz, so you got to keep him. But Foles, if he's cool with being a backup, I'm trying to get. If not, he can get traded to Dallas and be our backup.
Bro, he could start in a couple places right now.
Sure. Knock on him, though, is that he can come in as a reliever, but if you put the whole thing on his shoulders, he kind of...
Hey, why would you not have that for these rookies that all started this season?
Like your boy Baker.
Give them a backup for the next year.
Yeah.
So, if they start playing bad, you want to take them out for a couple games, get their head right, then you throw in somebody who's...
Speaking of which, what do you think about Lamar Jackson with the Ravens?
Oh,
he's like the shorter, just as fast as Vic, I think. Vic loves that dude. Yeah. He be hyping so much praise up. That's how I know he's really good.
Dude, I haven't watched them. I haven't watched the Ravens play. I haven't watched a bunch of teams. Like the Colts, I haven't seen them play this year. They're good, apparently.
When we watched over at Michael's, Coles whooped our ass.
Oh, yeah, we did. Oh, yeah, I blocked that out of my mind. I was just thinking about Dynamite.
We had 0 points, so there's no fun.
Yeah.
0 fun during the whole game.
Yeah.
0 fun the whole game.
Yeah, that was a terrible game. I'm glad we didn't really watch that one.
Yeah. We had a good time with Michael, though.
That was the best game to have over at Michael's house.
All right, because we just got to catch up. Yeah. I think the Cowboys will win, but I think it's going to be close as hell. And I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be sad, but I wouldn't be shocked if we lost, though, because of just how inconsistent we have been.
If we lose, I want to lose decently. I don't want to lose like a jackass.
Oh, like to where...
Like,
did the Cowboys lose it, or did the Seattle win? No,
I don't want Dak to have a fumble lost and an interception, or Zeke to have a fumble,
or a bad penalty call on us,
and then you get a bunch of penalties on third down, push it back. You get a bunch of penalties on both sides of the ball, on defense too, pass interference or a holding call, and then they get the first down. And y'all keep it moving. And y'all play like. Yeah, that would be heartbreaking because they showed signs of greatness this season.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That would suck.
If we are gonna win, we cannot have many mistakes because you can't.
Yeah,
if you play perfect, it's hard to do that. But we can't have like those Tyron Smith first down. Oh, it's holding on third and 7. It's always third and 7.
Well, if we win the turnover battle, then. I think the Cowboys got a dub pretty easily.
Prescott's on. Prescott. Chuck says he likes that point.
You like that? You second that? Hot Sports opinion.
All right, oldie. Later.
Well, there we are. A march down Cowboy memory lane, or at least how many's Cowboy episodes this season. I'm hoping that we get a happy game on Saturday night, and the Cowboys continue to shock us. But for now, I hope that your new year is filled with a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, and that all your favorite teams go on a winning streak. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Touchdown, Cowboys! The Cowboys are back on top of the mountain.